I'm going to show you right now what the most important factors are for you to be able to build a $1 to $3 million a year business. After selling my multi-7-figure coaching company and then consulting 6, 7, and 8-figure coaches that were paying me up to $25,000 a month in retainer, now we work behind the scenes with some of the most successful coaches in the industry. Now, this episode is behind the scenes to one of our most recent partner-only retreats that we just held in Bali. And this is actually Callum, my right-hand man, that is we call our chief rainmaker. And he's going to be showing you the key factors when it comes to you building a paid media lead generation and sales machine. So I highly recommend you get a pen and paper ready, get ready to take notes, because this is literally what is best working right now for you to be able to have a reliable, predictable system for you to sign on new clients every single week.
A lot of the times when we set up funnels or like we look at any sort of the marketing stuff, is we're very like, even yesterday we did massive sessions of like offers, outcomes, offers, outcomes, offers, outcomes, right? But that doesn't necessarily translate to market value, right? When we turn ads on or we do something, it's like the offer and outcome can be still killer, but the uniqueness around like what's the differentiation between that and someone else's offer, that's kind of like the gist of how the ads are really great or they're not as great. Does that make sense for everyone? Yeah, sweet. So part of today is why I want to share this with you is because like I want to get a UI established, which we all loosely have, but get it really packaged into like this becomes the main trend of how we deliver our marketing to align with our offers, right? What's a UI? We will go through that. Okay, this is really interesting because this copy here, I want to share with like what the changes were with the UI to give a real example from it, right? This was V1 that ran for a couple of months. Tour operators. I went from 65,000 to 3 million revenue without spending a cent on ads. Remember when you started your business dreaming of freedom and success? Instead, you're drowning in 80-hour weeks and barely making ends meet. I've been there, right? Both these copies driven like, and I just wanted to use the hooks and the headlines because it's the only thing we changed. So we didn't change like body copy. So I'm rushing this a bit. On ad face value, these were the main changes I was looking at, like what needed to happen. So this one's like, was broad story based, still like attention to operators, like pretty biz oppy, like, yo, your life sucks sort of story based copy, right? That was the virtual running a lot. And so what ended up happening on lead value, we're getting a lot of like still like tour operators and tour business owners, but guess what they were associated with was like their business was that chaotic at the time that one, we couldn't connect with them. Two, when we did connect with them, it was like life's just too crazy. We couldn't do anything like that. So the pain in our ass is like we're getting MQLs, like marketing qualified leads coming through the front end, but we just like couldn't convert. So Josh is like, yo, dude, like these leads are but they're good at the same time. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean, dude? And so this is where we were like stripped it back and went, what's the primary message we want? And then the primary outcome we're trying to create and combine it with two. Not much variation between this. Tourism business owners, V2. Your next 30 days could make or break your year. If you've had a single empty tour in the last month, you need to read this. Front-end product. Guess what the front-end product is we developed? It was a program called More Bookings. So all it was about was helping tour businesses get more bookings, right? So like we had like that story-based, pain-based stuff and like it was getting the attention. But as soon as we did, your next 30 days could make or break a year. If you had a single empty tour in the last month, you need to read this. Obviously, the body copy was talking about more bookings, as was the same as the V1. So it was like, just clearly, we've got like you could call that a semi-promise in the front end of the hook, like your next 30 days could be make or break. And when it comes to empty tours, we're just associating straight away that our unique identifier is we help tour businesses, but all we really give a fuck about is making more bookings. But that was a primary change we made with it. I don't know, like I haven't trialed like this to that yet, like tour operators versus tour business owners. We haven't arguably like tested it. It's probably worthwhile us testing just those two different like call outs there. Whether it's going to make change or not, I really don't know. It'd be worthwhile to test. But this was dead ass the biggest thing that changed with it as well. And so if I was to look at this, I'm like, okay, what's a unique identifier? The unique identifier is that, well, obviously the outcomes we're trying to help tour business owners, but the unique identifier is all we care about is making more bookings. So in your models, it would be Chris did really good at this yesterday, talking about, like selling to the strat session, like what's the one thing they're going to get, etc. So it's like in our offers, in our ads, it's like kind of like what's the one primary purpose we're going to get to, even if it's like a short-sighted front-end value of what the overall offer is, right? So my point being is we're just trying to sell the next fucking step, not like do the whole shebang, right? Let's talk about ascension.
Yep.
So cool thing with this is that more bookings meant obviously Josh can help them make more money, right, on front-end value. But it doesn't solve the back-end operations, scalability, procedures, potential exit, blah, blah, blah. So his back-end ascension models worth 12,000, right? So we've enrolled like, I think, 50-something people in this in the last 2 months, and should finish this like quarter or this last 3 months with probably around 80 to 90 people inside of it. So our primary focus at the moment is building a system that we've got at least 30% ascension rating into turning the guys into more bookings, into back-end operators. The great thing about, and just really speaking to you on this tone, when it comes to like what we want to do for your front-end stuff, is that the part of the ascension, can you see how like linear it is? Is that like it's logical for someone who makes more money then to go, hey, like I want to get better at systemizing it, get more time freedom. So it perfectly segues into his back-end offer and to going like, this makes sense for you to go from step 1 to step 2 versus it being like an entirely different market or demographic. Give you another example. Like we'll use yours again, Tone. Like you've got a fitness business. You've got the gym bro who's like making 4 or 5 grand a month as a PT, and he just wants a couple of online clients and like kind of like live lifestyle basis versus someone who wants to like be a true operator. Very two different avatars, although they're the exact same business model. So if you create an ascension for the gym bro at the front end, they won't ascend fuck all to your back end. They just won't move.
Yeah, like we created 6 weeks to scale and it flopped, like, and it's because 6 weeks to scale, we'll think about it like no normal person thinks scale and then up or no. Whereas they're calling it like more cash, more stats.
Yeah.
Far more, but like everybody wants more cash and more stats. So yeah, something like that would FO more. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So like, even so Brad and Lloyd would be looking at, if you've got any front-end offer, whether Brad, it's your 5K offer, or Lloyd, it's us crafting a brand new front-end product. I don't think you need one personally, but for now, but it's like, what's phase 1 for them to really get a grasp on a price point where it's logical for them to go, I'm going to go from here to there, right? That's what we're trying to create with it. I like out of this, like even out of the ad data for this, I honestly wouldn't even push any more money into this thing, wanting more stuff on it, because Josh just doesn't have a solid enough backend yet. It's like pointless. It's like we can essentially probably double or triple his rev by just having a great ascension model, but the operations are just a bit in the back end of the moment to do it. So kind of like handcuffed to this. That's what I was saying is yesterday, we're kind of handcuffed to like, we can put more money, make more money on the front end, but it's just like, why when we could just do double, triple that and just make a better back end for it? So yes. Point being is if we got the back end right, well then if we then double spend through this thing, it would be bonkers. Maybe buying Lamborghinis. Righto. I'll give you a look at front landing page. That's Josh, by the way. Look at the handsome devil, right? We use that static pause for a reason. I'm not even joking, right? We used to have like a faceless stuff on there, but I was like, because I actually first took it down. I saw Josh because I'm like, dude, you're a funny looking character, bro. I'm like, having you like on straight on your landing page. I'm like, but then I'm like, these tour guys, like they're all these sort of, boganish sort of dudes. So we got this static of Josh pasted on his play button for it. And let's talk about headline, unique identifying ads. Discover how to double your tour business inquiries, bookings, company revenue in the next 100 days without paid ads, complicated funnels, barely any tech. Obviously, with the without section of the sub headline, we're aware of that. It's like, what are we trying to make sure that people don't have to do in order to get X result? Watch the discrepancy between what we said in ad copy and on the headline. Yes. The ad was 30 days, like very short-sighted. Like, was that?
They'll forget that.
They didn't give a shit. And the thing is, even if they did care, it's like, as we've said before, it's probably not the client we're not going to work with, right? So I was like, 30 days was short, instant, wow, we can like make this happen. But we just extended the realistic time horizon of what we're able to do because we're actually making a bigger promise here now as well. So it's like micro promise, hey, you're going to click through, we're going to watch training, we're going to show through. Because remember, we're selling next step. So the training was all about the bookings. So the ad we did, micro promise, short punchy, super bold, come to this landing page and it's like cock flopped out and we went, we're going to double your tour business inquiries. Obviously, did we use that? And Josh can't back it up. No, like Josh we checked with him. Can you back this up? Fuck yes, I can. Okay, cool. Let's do it.
I'm popping up a line. Yeah, if you give them in, you're like, why? I'd be like, yeah, I'm hopping up the road. We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. So obviously, here's what we'll cover: secret 1, 2, and 3. There's some bottom page copy, but it is really just a repeat of the models. Proven strategy, skyrocket your books without spending time on ads. A simple system to automate your marketing, free up the time. How to reclaim your life and still grow your business. Those 3 things were actually 3 of the main points that were said in the body copy, right? So we always just took as a body copy into like what they were going to change, and it was just a repeat of it, right? This, yeah.
So one thing, do you guys know who Alan Solanic is?
Yeah, nothing else but smart. I mean, but he shared something a little while ago, and now I was like,
to really nail this. Now we're talking, so like, Jimmy, what's happening economically, culturally, like all of those, like the bigger picture waves and movements and kind of like unmatched tides are going on. There is just a really big consensus of what people are wanting right now, where it's not so much hard, I just want to make tons of money and work and grind and hustle. There is a really big movement towards like, I want more free time, I want to be able to enjoy my life, blah, blah, blah. So when you look at the two of those bullets, do you know what I mean? A simple marketing system to automate your marketing and free up your time, and how to reclaim your life and still grow your business. Do you know what I mean? So it's talking to that aspect of like, yes, you're going to grow your business, but there's that lifestyle part of it as well. Do you know what I mean? So especially when it comes to any of these businesses that you guys talk to what they're ultimately wanting as well. Like, I want to grow my business so I can spend more time on my pet. I want to grow my business so I can actually go and do other things. It's like, there's that aspect of the world. So I think it's just something I'm seeing a lot, and our ads work so much better when I actually started to tweak that word towards it as well.
Do you think that's because, whenever you break it down, most people that are buying the programs are realistically pretty new to business or relatively, and they get in not because the passion or the money, they get in because they want fucking better life, like better quality life?
I think it's people are burnt from working so hard and getting to a point of being like, fuck this, I fucking have a life, I'm working really hard, it's not working, like that sort of thing.